Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabar from the GMS Virginia camp, coming at you with another short lesson that I pray that you find edifying. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 7. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what you're seeing now. The prophets out there on the highways and byways prophesying against these great nations, these great kingdoms, you know, talking about their demise, their destruction on all levels. And that's exactly what's going to happen through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, a lot of people didn't believe what the prophets were saying 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, starting with our apostles on down. A lot of people just didn't believe it. And now it's like right in their face, and they have no choice but to believe it. They have no choice but to consider what the prophets have been saying, because it's going to come to pass, because Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is not a man that he should lie. So all of these calamities are about to fall upon Babylon the Great, and the people aren't even taken into consideration, not on a level that you would think that they probably would, what the prophets have been saying. Some are, for the most part, but, you know, the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is out there prophesying the downfall of this wicked kingdom. And when I say this wicked kingdom, you know, it's just not in Babylon the Great. You know, it's around the entire planet that this devil has spewed his wickedness on all the nations and on all the kingdoms. You know, this devil has spread his wickedness across all 17 nations. He makes the 18th nation, but this devil has spread his wickedness around the entire planet, to the point where a lot of people are actually fed up with it. The prophet which prophesieth a peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has truly sent them. So this is not of peace. You know, what we're prophesying is not of good times. It's not of mirth and you know, your festivities. What we're prophesying is the end of Esau Edom. As a matter of fact, let me get that, because this devil is on his way down, and you know, he's going out kicking and screaming. You know, he ain't playing. You know, this devil don't play fair. You know, if he goes down, he's ratting on everybody, and he's taking a lot of people with him. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac unto Jacob, and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, the end of the eon, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we are encountering the end of an eon. We are on the precipice of the end of this devil's rule. Starting with the small hatters on down. His rule is at an end, and he sees it. The scriptures say that, the wicked shall be revealed, and the wicked is being revealed. You got this thing with Kanye West and what, Kyrie Irving, and they did nothing but enhance what the people wanted to find information about. When this devil sat back and started crying anti whatever, it made the people sit back and wonder, hold on one second, what is this anti thing that they keep crying about? Only to find out a lot of people are starting to wake up to the fact that they're also Shemites. And this devil's losing his stronghold on that. Because that's all he's got to run to. Anti this, blame you on that. That's all he's got to run to. He's got nothing else other than the sword, and that's what he's about to come down with, because he's losing at this. And the prophets know that he's going to lose at everything, but at this he's losing. Is there no more wisdom in Teman? This devil's losing his wisdom. He's losing what he had depended upon for so long. Because through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the prophets have been warning you people that this was going to happen. Because we're at the end of this. And here it is, a great nation as this one. Well, a great kingdom as this one. Babylon the Great, they're talking about no food, no water, famines, pestilence, wars, rumors of wars. They're talking about all these calamities befalling Babylon the Great soon. And it doesn't take much, to spark this off. Because here it is, we're sitting in a gas station, and all it takes is that one spark, to spark it off, to set this whole thing ablaze. And yet the people walk around as if nothing's gonna happen. They walk around doing their day-to-day, as if all is good, especially you Jakes. You commit your wickedness, your whoredoms, your adulteries, and you do what you do. Jake does what he does, and does it marvelously, to the point where he's going to be judged for it on a level that Jake ain't ready for. Unless they repent, a lot of people, a lot of Israelites who don't know that they're Israelites, and even those who know that they're Israelites, who's got one foot in the world and one foot in the truth, they're going to die. Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, I'd rather you be hot nor cold. Well, I'd rather you be hot or cold, Salah. He don't want you to be lukewarm. He'll spew you out of, he'll spew you out of his mouth. So that's why we got to be hot with this. We got to be on fire with this. We got to make our calling and election sure. Because in the times that's coming, we ain't going to get through it by our own strength. Because your strength will profit you nothing in the days of in the days of trouble. It doesn't matter how strong you are and how much you can lift and, you know, how fast you can run and how far you can run. That don't matter. You know what I'm saying? If Yahweh Shem Yahushua wants you gone, you're going to be gone. And we understand that as prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that's why it's very important that, you know, we do the work. That's why it's very important that we show brotherly love. That's why it's very important that we go out there on the highways and byways week in, week out to warn the people. So that way we can be protected in a time of trouble. And also we have a healthy fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Fear, which is something that a lot of people don't have. You know, that's a very powerful word, and not to go off topic, but fear is a very powerful word that a lot of people don't take into consideration when going through life. Because a lot of people have this nonchalant attitude or this nonchalant mentality that nothing can happen to them because there's no fear. Because 911 is available, water's available, food's available, men are available, you know, whatever. Comforts are available. But in the time that's coming, fear is going to strike these people like it's never struck them before in their lives, and they're not going to know what to do with it. They're not going to know what to do about it. You know, the scriptures say that men shall be afraid. Men shall be afraid. Men. So if the men are afraid, what about the children and the women? You know, here it is, you know, this devil likes, you know, to post or make movies or whatever about the rise of the women beating the shit out of 20 men. Get the fuck out of here. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And a lot of women with that mentality is gonna get had like it's nobody's business. You know, the scriptures say, she who is my enemy shall see it. A lot of women are gonna see these alpha women get their ass whipped, humbled, and they're gonna see it. You know, these alpha women are going to turn into bitch women. These alpha women are going to turn to their natural order. You know, a lot of these people have been caught up in this witchcraft, which is called Hollywood and Babylon the Great. You know, but the prophets have been prophesying and pulling the veil off this place. You know, it's like the movie The Wizard of Oz. You know, our camp leader like to bring it out every now and again. You know, it's like the Wizard of Oz. You know, all of the theatrics and the lights and the smoke and the flames are nothing short of things, you know, to take your mind off of what's really going on behind the scenes until you pull that curtain back. And when you pull that curtain back, you see a little short, small hatter, you know, controlling all the buttons and making all the movements of the smoke and the flames and the media and this, that, or the other, just to have you not looking at where the problem is. Look here while I do this. And your prophets have your prophets have been telling you that's how they work. The prophets have been telling you that that's what they do. And the people are starting to get caught on, you know, to what they do, to the point where they can't do it on the level that they used to do it. And so that's why the devil has got to come down having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time. He don't have a long time, to make what he's trying to do happen. So when he really kicks this off, and trust me, it's happening every day now, but when he really kicks this off, it ain't going to be no stopping. It's going to be full steam ahead. And that's what's going to throw a lot of people off guard, because a lot of people haven't been paying attention to the prophets. A lot of people haven't been paying attention to their surroundings. A lot of people haven't been paying attention to what's been going on in the world, although it be told to them. And as men, we want a lot of people to wake up. But as prophets, we know that that's not going to happen unless Yahweh Shem Yahushai wakes them up. Because a lot of people, it's about to be death on a level that these people have never seen. Death, like dead bodies in the street, like you walking from point 1 to point 2 and you just stepping over bodies. Men, children, women, maids. It's just going to be straight death. Straight death. Cannibalism's coming back in a big way. But although these people have been warned, specifically you Israelites, although you have been warned, the same must know it after death by pain. And trust me, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is crafty. He's crafty. He knows everyone's fears. He knows everyone's fears because he put it in you. A lot of people don't believe that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is the one that's making this happen. A lot of people, especially you Christians, man, you people are just done. You're just through. Speaking of which, I had a Christian knock on my door today as I was leaving my house, to meet up with a brother. And, this Christian started breaking out scriptures, and we know that they don't understand the scriptures, but I left him pondering. Well, I perceive I left him pondering on what he's reading. Because, a lot of these Christians are taught the precept of Yahweh Shem Yahushai by men. They don't read the scriptures and get understanding. They read the scriptures without precepts to gain a greater understanding of what they're reading. But the day is coming where Yahweh Shem Yahushai is about to cut this all off. He's about to shut this down. He's about to shut it all down. He's about to shut up the internet, because, this devil is starting to realize too much information about him is actually gone out in the world. And he can't have that. This devil's got to stop the narrative of him being the devil quick, fast, and in a hurry. I don't understand why people do that. You got a big ass parking lot, and you always get that one person who either want to park to the left of you, or to the right of you, or right behind you. I don't get that. I really don't understand that, but it is what it is. But yeah. So a lot of people are gonna feel it here real soon. Here it is. I work for a really good company out here where I live, and they're already talking about, well, not talking about, but from what I see is, they're shutting lines down because of no parts. you know? They shutting entire lines down for no parts. You know, and that's just crazy to me. You know? How you shut an entire line down for parts? You know, it's coming from overseas and coming locally or wherever, the parts come from. But regardless, you're going to see more and more of this. You're going to see more and more of a lot of these businesses having to shut their doors because, they can't make it. Whatever. They can't sustain staying in business if they're not making money. And a lot of businesses are starting to feel the hurt. They're starting to feel the pain. They're starting to feel the crunch. Now, the people on the floor don't know what management is going through. It's a lot. It's a lot. The people on the floor don't understand what management got to go through, to get orders out there and, keep the people buying product. I don't care about that. The bottom line for a lot of people is maintaining a job. Because very soon the grinding shall cease. Nothing good is coming to Babylon the Great. Like that Jake I told you about, who knocked on that Christian who knocked on my door. If I can remember correctly, one of the first things he said was, "Do you think it's gonna get better?" I said, "Nope. It's gonna get worse." Then he gave me this look like, "Well, how do you know it's gonna get worse?" Well, if you read the scriptures, the scriptures tell you it's going to get worse. Because we're in that time. And your prophets have been out there on the highways and byways warning you of these things, warning you and warning these nations of these up and coming calamities. Nothing good is about to happen for you 2/3 Jakes. The elect, we pray, will be covered. It's all about the elect. That's all it's ever been about. It's not about any other nation. It's not about Moab and Ishmael and Ham. Nah, man, it's not about any other nation. It's about the nation of Israel. And very soon, a lot of people are going to realize that. A lot of people who think that they could be brought into the fold. This Jake even had the nerve to say that they could be spiritually brought in, and I was like, show that to me. Find it. Google it. Google that. Google that the other nations can be grafted in, spiritually brought back in, when the Lord specifically says, "I change not." He couldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. And that action alone may have marked him, unless he repent. A lot of people err not knowing the scriptures, and a lot of people have, has this false narrative on these tribulous times. A lot of people actually think that it's going to be not as bad as it's going to be. It's going to be fucked up. It's going to be fucked up out here. Everywhere. Not just in your big cities and in your suburb. Well, shit, in your suburbs, a lot of people are going to be hitting that up. A lot of people are going to be hitting up your suburbs, and a lot of people are going to be hitting up, you know, your food spots and going from house to house, robbing and taking away your goods. You know? And for all you preppers, all you did was show the world what you had. And trust me, a lot of people look at what you got. But yeah, you know, I just wanted to bring this out, you know, because a lot of people don't understand why the prophets are out there. A lot of people are starting to wake up to the prophets being out there. And our purpose is to warn the people. You know, and you know, to be, you know, and you know, to be a light in darkness. But a lot of people don't want that. You know, a lot of people don't want that light. A lot of people would rather stay in darkness. And those people are going to be destroyed. Especially when they shut this whole thing down. Listen, all they got to do is shut down the internet. When you shut down the internet, that shuts down communication. Well, not communications as far as your phones, but, you know, it shuts down a lot of things that a lot of people have grown to be very dependent upon, like your banking system, you know, your social media, you know, your medical and this, that, or the other. You know, everything is dependent upon the internet. You know, and when they shut it down, a lot of those comforts, a lot of those establishments is going to be no more. And a lot of people can't deal with that. You know, you got people who actually depend upon meds to get through their day-to-day. And you know, without their meds, oh, goodness gracious, they're going to be psychotic. Psychotic. You got people who go crazy over not having a cigarette. At a basic level, you got people who go crazy because they can't get a drink. You know? Start drinking gasoline and propane and shit. I mean, that's just how far the addiction goes. And trust me, during the time of Jacob's trouble, or during the time of these tribulous times, a lot of people are going to be looking for an out, and they're not going to be able to find it. A lot of people are going to go crazy during these times, man. A lot of people are going to lose their fucking mind, because without television, entertainment, social media, the internet, TV show, without these music, without these things, man, these people are going to lose it, because they don't know what it's like not to have it. You know? Now, don't get me wrong, we men of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, we have our hobbies, and, you know, we like listening to music, a certain type of music, and doing this, that, or the other. But a lot of times we spend our time in solitude, not listening to music, not listening or not watching shows, and not doing this, that, or the other. You know, there's a balance. And we understand that balance, but a lot of you jakes don't understand balance. You know, you don't understand that for every, hypothetically saying, for every hour watching TV, you should spend 2 hours in the scriptures or whatever. You know, when I was in college, you know, the rule of thumb was for every hour in class, you should spend 2 to 3 hours studying. You know? It's a balance. Salaki, I'm under the weather big time, but that's a balance. And a lot of you jakes don't understand balance. And without balance, you know, you're gonna be destroyed. Anyhow. So with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Akakudash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabar from the GMS Virginia camp. Shalom.